Hi guys, with austerity, cuts to the NHS and Brexit, healthcare in Britain has been seriously damaged by the Conservatives. Due to the shortage of GPs, patients are being told that they have a maximum of 10 minutes per visit. But as you can imagine, this is nowhere near enough, especially for the elderly, people with mobility issues, or those with complex health problems. Here, Dr. Philippa Kaye explained to Kay Burley of Sky News the problems facing doctors and their patients due to the chronic shortage of GPs. But she also explains other problems medical professionals are having to face.
There was a poll done of patients talking about whether or not 10 minutes was long enough, but also about how you access your GP. And really unsurprisingly, patients were saying, no, it's not long enough. We can barely talk about all our problems. Now, we have to remember that 10 minutes is not actually 10 minutes. By the time you walk through the door, and let's say you have a problem with your feet and you're elderly and it's cold and you're wearing lace-up boots and I'm on my knees trying to speed things up by taking them off for you, and then I have to take your history, examine you, order your investigations, having read your notes before, write up your notes after. Actually, we're talking about 6 or 7 minutes. And if you say, well, actually, I've got 2 problems, that's 3 minutes a problem. That is not sufficient to do the job well. So patients are saying it's not long enough. GPs are saying, we know it's not long enough. It's absolutely not long enough. But for the 1 in 8 patients that say we want a half an hour appointment, well, I could see 3 of you quickly in that time if it was only 10 minutes. The answer is, yes, there's a huge problem. We need more doctors.
Because of Brexit, because of the ending of freedom of movement, Britain lost between 1,300 and 1,500 GPs. Now, that's just GPs. It also lost other medical staff because of Brexit. So you would imagine the new Labour government will be trying to undo as much of Brexit as possible. Patients need more than 10 minutes. Patients need ample time, be it, as was pointed out here by Dr. Philippa, about the issues of just taking people's shoes off, or people with mobility issues, or complex health issues need more than 10 minutes.
What do you think about Zoom diagnosis?
I think that there is a role for remote consultations, but it's not for everybody or everything. So for somebody who is a young professional that's got a minor problem that can be dealt with over the telephone, sure. But actually, we are missing an awful lot if we only do it over those remote consultations. And during lockdown, we saw that. And it's not just about the patients who we say, we need you to come in, I need to actually lay a hand or examine or whatever, but also for those very soft signs, the people who come in and I think, oh, there's something really difficult or uncomfortable about you and your partner, I want to see you on your own. Yeah. Or the child that comes in 13, 14, 15, that has made a diversion on their way to school because they need to see the doctor on their own. And all of that stuff has the potential to be lost if you're only on sort of a remote consultation. There's a space for it, but it's not for everyone.
Well said. This is why it's so important to listen to the experts and not just the politicians, because the politicians will say, look, we can use technology. Look at all this great technology, ChatGPT or Zoom or whatever. We can use this technology to bring down the NHS waiting list. But as the doctors point out, yes, it works for some people, but it doesn't work for everyone. And you have to take that into account. So I hope going forward, there won't be some sort of target that GPs need to take on a certain percentage of patients via some sort of technology like Zoom or some sort of tool. Because this, as was pointed out here, would miss a lot of diagnosis and miss significant issues that patients need dealt with. Because if you don't fix the problem early, then it's going to cost much more later on. As we know that if something is missed by the GP, it could become chronic, it could become much more serious, and then this person may end up in hospital. There were scandals when the Tories were in power that children were getting teeth removed in NHS hospitals because they couldn't access a GP. So that needs to change. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.